Free agency's winding down. That means it's time to look to the draft. No team has helped themselves as much as the New York Jets, adding Justin Fields, getting away from the Aaron Rodgers era, shedding some of that unnecessary cap hell that they've been in. Yeah, the dead cap's awful, but you're going to deal with it for a year. You'll deal with Aaron Rodgers for another year. How do you give Justin Fields the best chance to succeed? I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm Jeremy Green from NFLDraft.net and ESPN Radio Asheville, and this is a 4-round mock draft for my beloved New York Jets.
Ain't no truth on the radio station. Somebody owes me an explanation. Well, I get knocked down, I get back up.
The Sportsocracy.
And I'm unapologetic.
Look, I've been very open about this. I don't love Justin Fields, but in terms of what you could do to succeed in year one after Aaron Rodgers, there's no quarterback on the market that would have come here that would be better than Justin Fields. You had already burned through Darnold. Rodgers wasn't coming back. You basically took a $30 million one-year flyer on Justin Fields. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, you're in the quarterback market next year, and I think the quarterback draft next year is better than it is this year. Looking at the Jets and their needs, on the screen you'll see their current starting lineup according to PFF. I have set my own set of team needs for the Jets. I feel like they have to have weapons. Wide receiver and tight end are 1 and 2. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle, and linebacker are my next 3. I also would like to add a corner if at all possible because I don't believe in Brandon Stevens, but obviously the Jets do. So let's get into it here. We'll see what the computer has done through the first 6 picks, and then I will make the first pick for the Jets. Went about how you thought it would. Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Tet McMillan, which I didn't expect. Okay, that's fine. Roughly what you would expect. I'm not going to do anything that's too untoward because I basically think this pick comes down to if Tet McMillan is there, I think they would think about it, but I do not think they would take him over the player that I'm going to ultimately take, and that is tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State. As soon as I saw Justin Fields had signed with the New York Jets, basically my first thought was, okay, Tyler Warren's the pick at 7. With the relationship that Kmet and Justin Fields had in Chicago, I just feel like this makes too much sense. Tyler Warren is on the high side, George Kittle. On the low side, he's TJ Hawkinson. I don't know that he'll ever be a great blocker. He's better than some of the other tight ends in this class, but he is a special talent among tight ends. Second in college football in missed tackles forced, tied for 9th in deep catches, 3rd in contested catches. Tyler Warren is a special player. I think he is a special athlete. You look at, this is the tight end that they've been looking for basically as long as I've been a Jet fan, which is pushing 30 some odd years. This is a special kid. Can do a little bit of everything. He threw passes at Penn State. He ran out of Wildcat at Penn State. He's just that good. Now, was it 1 year of actual production? Yes, it was. But that 1 year was absolutely special. And at number 7, I wouldn't even think about it. I'm just going straight Tyler Warren. Next pick is at number 42. Then we get that sweet gifted 3rd-round pick that when Geno Smith got traded, he finally gave us a gift, and we found out that pick's better than we thought it was. Okay, there are a lot of corners on the board here. That's not really where I feel like the need is here. I have more pressing needs. I added Andre Cisco, so it's kind of hard. I mean, I don't mind Xavier Watts, but I don't think that's what I need to do. I'm really inclined to go Jayden Higgins here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double up on targets. Jayden Higgins, kid out of Iowa State, really big, came in just a hair over 6'3" at the combine, ran particularly well with a 4.47. Absolutely intriguing talent, great hands, and I think he's only beginning to scratch the surface. 2.2% drop rate at Iowa State, which is absolutely insane. 87.8 PFF grade against man coverage, 2.66 yards per route run. I mean, I could sit here and wax poetic about Jayden Higgins all day. This is the X receiver outside with now you have him, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Tyler Warren, And you've basically set Justin Fields up here of you've got targets. Because I think Jayden Higgins can come in and contribute right away. One thing to know is that he did play out of the slot roughly a quarter of his snaps. I think he's still working in as an X. He can play in the slot. That makes him and Garrett kind of interchangeable, which is intriguing to me because it affords you some opportunities as opposed to taking just an X or just a slot, because you do still have Malachi Corley, who I like a lot. I think the Yak God is going to get to see a lot of touches in 2025 out of the slot, but he's slot specific. So is Xavier Gibson. I need one that is kind of fluid. Jayden Higgins is one of the last ones that I believe you can do that with. So right here in the second round, I'll take Jayden Higgins, wide receiver out of Iowa State. Next pick is at 73. This is our gifted, hey, it's better than we thought it was, pick from the Raiders deal with Devontae Adams. This really comes down to two guys. It comes down to three guys. So I am intrigued by Jordan Phillips, the defensive tackle out of Maryland. I am intrigued by Cameron Williams out of Texas. I don't think Jonas Savagnier is going to be there. I have a very different belief on him than PFF does. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to keep Elijah Vera Tucker at guard. I'm going to go Ozzy Trapilo, offensive tackle out of Boston College. The numbers on him don't really even tell you how good he is. Through the first handful of games, about the Virginia game, I think that was the last one Thomas Castellanos played at Boston College, he was on pace to be a high second-round pick. When Castellanos came out, it was like this team kind of broke, and Trapilo was – the tape got worse and worse as time went on. I think that was a product of they really didn't believe in the quarterback. They didn't really believe in what was happening around Boston College. But I watched this kid at the Senior Bowl, and he was an absolute bulldog. I think he's a right tackle in the NFL. Day one starter. I believe he can come in and start off the jump at right tackle. It's really good value in the third round. Not a ton of guys that I think can do that, but Trapilo is one, so I will take him right here in the third round. So now of my needs that I said I had coming into this, I have addressed my 1, I have addressed my 2, I have addressed my 3. So now I can take a player that just fits. Somebody that is not necessarily a luxury, but also not the most pressing of needs. So let's look at the board here. At linebacker gets thin in a hurry. I don't love any of those. I would seriously consider Cody Simon, but I think it's a little early for that. I'm going to look defensive tackle here. Tonka Hemingway is really intriguing for me, but he's a pass rusher inside of Quinnen. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for. Jamari Caldwell. That's the one. I don't believe that he's only a zero tech. PFF does, but I'm not really there. That might be his best spot. The question is, do I take him or Aeneas Peebles? Peebles does a little bit of everything. You know what? I'm going to have the biggest interior in all of the NFL. I'm going Jamari Caldwell. I don't love him as much as a lot of other people do because I don't think he has that pass rush upside. He did have a 9.3% pass rush win rate last year at Oregon. He is a much better run defender than he is pass rusher, but you put him inside of Quinnen Williams, I think that really helps. He is a gigantic human, and he's kind of that big dancing bear, but he's more athlete right now than he is football player, but he can come in and help against the run, which was a huge problem for the Jets last year. So right here in the fourth round, I'm going to go Jamari Caldwell, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Now we'll see what grade PFF gave me. PFF never likes my mocks. Every single time I do one of these, it gives me a C. Oh, well, B- for my own team. I guess that is. I'm still in the bottom 32%. Yeah, because most of you draft guys that are going to be going 2 rounds ahead of where they go. Anyway, Tyler Warren right there at 7. I love that pick. That would be an A for me. Jayden Higgins would be a solid B+ for me. I like Trapilo and Caldwell in the 3rd and 4th round, respectively. I feel like that adds 4 players that can come in and contribute in year 1 3 of whom really helped Justin Fields. If you like these picks, if you don't like these picks, whatever the case may be, comment that in the comments of these videos. I answer every single one of those. It takes me a little bit of time because I'm the only one that answers them. So just give me a few days on that. I'll get to you as quick as I can. Whether it's players you want to know how they fit with the Jets, if you want to put your mock draft in there, I'm good with any of that. Whatever you want to do, chuck it in the comments. And if you like this video, like this video. It helps more than I could ever tell you. Subscribe to the channel to get all of the NFL draft content as we get closer to 3 days in Green Bay. That will be probably the most expensive 3 days of my life. Seriously, $800 a night for a hotel. Let's go. 3 days of the NFL draft. We're live on Radio Row. 4-man booth on Radio Row for all 3 days of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm Jeremy Green of NFLDraft.net. Check us out at the website this week. All of my top 25s at every position and my final draft board is going up on the website this week. So if I were a GM of a team, you will be able to see the board that would be hanging in my office. Every player, what round they belong in, their high side, their low side, and how they would potentially fit with the New York Jets. And ESPN Radio Asheville. You can find us on the channel right here, noon every weekday with our ESPN Radio show live. I'm Jeremy Green at ESPN Draft Nerd on Twitter, and this has been a 4-round mock draft for my beloved, one and only New York Jets.